a plug real quick. But welcome everyone to another of Live Nation Urban Presents Meet the Execs. I'm your host, Brandon Penke, and today we have one of the best managers in the game for many years, Cortez, Bryant, co-CEO, partner in Maverick, largest artist management. Dude has done it all. So welcome, Cortez. Tez, thank you for being here, sir.
What's up, fam? What's good, brother?
I'm wonderful. We're actually real friends, so I may ask some questions that I don't really ask other guests. So we'll get there. But Tez, you know what we do with everyone here, first and foremost, because we have some people that are in the industry, some people that aren't in the industry, just really the journey and how you got to become the co-CEO of Blueprint and the partner in Maverick underneath the Live Nation umbrella.
The whole journey? That's 16 years of journey.
Whole journey. Sorry,
Okay.
need to hear every piece of it. I think it's important.
Okay, well, I started in the business by my best friend seeing something in me that I didn't even know I could do. I never kind of aspired to be in the music business, but Lil Wayne, you know, he saw something in me, trusted me, and asked me to be his manager straight out of college. It was at the Jackson State University. I'm gonna be plugging that all day during this interview. Yeah, and that kind of started it off, man. I didn't know. I had to figure things out on the fly using all the skills I had learned in high school and college to get to, to kind of maneuver in the beginning. Was a fly on the wall, learned a lot, asked a lot of questions, and tried to do the best I could to help pivot my best friend's career. One thing I did understand above all from my college tenure and actually from, my advertising class, I learned one thing that was the importance of branding. And that's kind of the first thing I told Wayne in the very beginning, me not knowing nothing. I just was like, yo, bro, at some point, hottest artist and went cold before. As we are building your music career, we need to also build your brand, build your brand outside so we can have extensions and hopefully our kids, can gain wealth from if we do a good job, if we do a good job and really get to where we were trying to get to. So,
because you're touching on something important in that, and we'll continue with the story. But what does it mean? You're saying build his brand. What does that mean as an artist?
So purposefully, we, I tapped into everything about him. We try to figure out the strategy around, around who Lil Wayne is, so it was about sitting down with him, identifying what he liked, what he didn't like to do. I knew he wasn't big on press, ever, because he's just a studio music rat, and that's what he cared about the most, and all the other things that he liked to do, so that's like, we figure out. You like playing video games, you like skateboarding. And over the years, as you can see his journey, I tapped into everything that he was interested in, whether it was fashion early on with the rock star belts, big skulls, studded shirts, and I use those things that's natural to the artist in order to explore partnerships, market the album and get themes around the album, so on and so forth. One main thing that we understood that we wanted to do was, the first thing that popped out was, he's like, I'm just not a rapper, you know what I'm saying? I'm a rock star. Right. So that was that was my first wave of how we're going to establish this brand, being a rock star outside the box, the skinny jeans, the stuff he was wearing. I mean, Dipset was wearing it, but, he kind of picked up on their style and we implemented, not early on, we kind of shipped different ways. So you can see the ways in his career, but the basis of that brand was Rockstar. I don't give a fuck, branding and everything that we did. And we purposely, one thing I did understand was, even at that point, he was already, probably like 7-8 years in the game. year was that? 14. That was, how old was I? 04. He might have been in the game at least 6, 7 years. He already had out 2 albums. I came on for the first quarter. That was like the first album I worked, Go DJ. That's when I came on as management. So from the first quarter on is when I jumped on. So he had 2 platinum albums already out. So he was established regionally, locally. But he already had some years. So we wanted to understand with the brand, right? You know, to make sure that we personally not have him talking. And like a lot of people don't know the method of the madness. We wanted to just deliver music. Like that Rockstar shit, tour well, you know, pour his performance, his you know, if you ever seen Wayne in person, you could see that, you know, he's not one that's just standing in one place. He all over the place, like you see those mimicking those 80 rock bands and those rock stars. So we want to pour on the front, the music side of things, and always hide the mystique on the back. And I think that helped him, you know, 20 something years in the game, you know, with longevity. You know, I think that helped it because, you know, we basically give you something but not give you everything. You don't know the method of the madness. You don't know what's going on behind the curtains, but you're getting the product. So yeah, so that's that. And so we started. It was good. I got to a point with Wayne where I knew that personally, my relationships and my experience and knowledge had reached its height. So being, you know, so I was being the smart guy. I told Wayne, I got to go find somebody. I got to go find a partner, a strategic partner to help us grow, you know, and get there. And it was just so happened, man. And I had been hearing about G and hip hop. And I think that G would tell you, people was telling him about me because he had Kanye West, and I saw what Kanye was doing, right?
G. Roberson?
G. Roberson, yes. And I saw what Kanye was doing, so I was really seeking. I like, man, I got to find this dude. And I was walking out the W in L.A., and he was talking. I can't remember who it was. It was a woman who we both knew, a mutual friend.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just like, he was talking to her. I went to holler at her, like, hey, how you doing? And she was like, oh, you need to, Taz, do you know G? And I was like, nah, but I've been looking for you. Like, I've been looking for you too, right?
Right.
So we sat down. We got together the next day, sat down for some hours, realized that we had like minds, um, 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 like minds, like values, how we approach things, and we formed a partnership there, Wayne and Kanye, um, um, as our first artist. And I thank G because he took me to levels as an executive. You know, I was talking, basically Wayne was hot, and I was talking to people at this level, right? He brought me in the rooms with the chairman, CEOs, and presidents. He was like, nah, we got to talk to, you know, such and such. So, you know, and he made sense of a lot of things I had in my head about music and my ear and listening to it. I knew what a hit record was, and I knew how to identify it, but he made it make sense in musical terms for me, you know. So I thank him, and that was the beginning of the team. And from there, you know, Sean G, you know, was our touring guru. We had to learn how to tour, right? And our CFO at the time. That's where I met Brandon and the team, Al Branch, Brian Calhoun, Gene Nelson, you know, the same team. We've been having the same team rocking together probably for 13 years now. You know, our relationship evolved as we started picking up clients. The very next client that asked me personally to manage it was Drake. You know, and like I said, I didn't know I was going to do anything outside of Wayne because that's all I was in it for, just to, let me help my friend out to be a star, right? And that was the very next person, and I think we rolled from there, man. The rest, you know, we formed a lot of strategic partnerships with you guys and in Philly, in the Philly crew, you know, we made history, and I think we made history. Nicki, G-Eazy, currently Lil Nas and Trippie Redd, you know, it's been great, and I think that throughout the business, you know, we tried to strategically make moves to position ourselves and our company in great positions in order to do well for our artists, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we always were forward thinking about that. We were always forward thinking about how we were going to build the management company, making sure that we had, you know, we didn't rely on our label partnerships and our distribution partnerships. We wanted to bring everything in the house, digital, touring, you know. So that's how the team basically was formulated and how we all started working together. You know, we had, you know, we was forward thinking enough to know that we have to control our own fate and
Mm-hmm.
bring everything in house. And like I said, a lot of the strategic partnerships, Live Nation had became a strategic partner at the time. You know, we was doing a lot of business with them with touring. You know, we felt that Michael Rapino was a great executive, in his vision and for what he was doing. And Guy Osiri, you know, approached G about partnering up with Live Nation and creating this Maverick, Voltron Power Rangers. I don't know how old y'all is. Kind of analogy if y'all don't understand that. So, you know, we have a lot of managers have deals with Live Nation, individual companies. We have a lot of individual companies, us Blueprint Group, Sal and Co., Guy Osiri, his team. So what we did was, you know, Guy Osiri had this idea, was like, listen, man, we got all our art, we got managers, we all have partnerships with Live Nation, you know, we think alike as far as managers and we have this similar type talent. How about we join together, put our artists in one pool, and go out there and use one brand name to scale and get more opportunities for our artists. And that's how Maverick was formed. So that's where you know, we work as Blueprint with our day-to-day artists, but Maverick is the overlying umbrella. We come together like Voltron or the Power Rangers and come together as one force, you know. So yeah, and that's how we're here. 16 years.
Amazing. So let me ask you a real question. This is, you know, for those that want to be a manager or managers now. At one point, there was Drake, Nicki, and Wayne, all under the same, you know, Young Money Records, all with vastly different personalities. How do you
Hell yeah.
how did you manage that? Like, how do you, as a manager, how do you balance? You know, because all of them are superstars. How do you balance everyone at once?
Well, it was a lot of Crown Royal, Hennessy, Tito's vodka. Man, I don't even know, bro. Like, I think the honest truth, it definitely wasn't easy. You know what I'm saying? Because with superstars comes ego. I'm not gonna paint it to you. I mean, and y'all hear a lot about that in the Young Money documentary coming out. Shameless plug next year.
Got another plug coming later, so you're good. Go ahead.
so now all those you know, it definitely wasn't always peaches and cream. We made it look like that, you know, as a family, as a team, but it was times when I mean, egos came into play, and even from the CEO, from the top, from Wayne, you know, it was time when he, you know, it was, he had to humble himself to understand at one point, you know, he always been the spirit of I'm about to give and want to do for my artists and make them big. But when it really became big, it was like, whoa, I didn't think he was gonna do it like this at one point. But it worked out. Team. That's what it is. You know, it's not only me. We worked as a team. You know, was able to delegate duties different ways. You know, Mac Main and my partner was able to help me with Wayne. He switched from, as Young Money was growing, you know, and Drake and Nicki's career was growing, and I was managing that. Mac kind of stepped away from the artist seat, and you know, and took the role and responsibility of an executive and president of Young Money at the time, and was helping me with the managerial duties with Wayne. You know, as I was with Drake, you know, G Nelson, you know, they was quarterbacking Nicki Minaj's career. So it took a team.
Mm-hmm.
So one person I don't think could have did it all at all, you know. But that's why I think that's why we're great, man. We've been that way, selfless and worked together, and I think it's helped. And the results, you know, we saw the results from the teamwork.
Absolutely. So to that point, you know, you see clients come, you see clients go, artists come, artists go. How do you select the newer artists to work with? Is it word of mouth? Are you actively seeking new artists to work with? How does that work? Especially for someone that's Maverick and Blueprint.
You know, honestly, bro, I never seeked or went after an artist for management. It all kind of divinely happened. You know, I'm very spiritual and purpose driven. I know that God put me in this place to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I think it started with protecting my friend, but he allowed me to evolve in this space of music and help a lot of people see their potential and reach their goal. And it kind of, every relationship kind of happened. I wasn't looking to manage Drake. I was trying to get Drake on Young Money, you know. When he came up to me and asked me that, I wasn't trying to manage Nicki. Same thing. I was just being an executive and putting her music out through Young Money and just doing that part of what, you know. And everybody has come with that. You know, G-Eazy came from in-house from Jamil Davis, who started as an assistant tour manager for Wayne. Then when we built Drake Team, became Drake's tour manager, you know, and G-Eazy was his college roommate. And, you know, let him open up for Wayne and Drake. And it got to up when him and Matthew Bauerschmidt, the Rebels group, they built G-Eazy up to a place where they presented him to me. And still, I was like, this is dope. A lot of people about to be knocking on your door to sign you. You know, I saw it once they built it from what was that? That mixtape? Must Be Nice mixtape. Yeah. I saw it once they built it, and all I was doing was like cheering them on because Jamil was an extension of us. He grew within the nucleus of our company and our crew. And I was just happy for him. And just so happy him and G flew to New Orleans and was like, yo, Tez, we'd love for y'all to be a part of the team. Yeah. You know, to partner up and do this in a big way, you know. And that's so it things just have happened like that, you know, for myself and the people that I kind of brought to the management company.
Got you. I'm gonna switch gears for a minute. You know, you are super successful in the music industry and you continue to climb, even though, you know, I thought at a moment, like, how much higher can you go? But you gave back and you went back to Jackson State University and gave $500,000 as a part of an endowment.
Right. People gonna think I got money, B.
Gave something. Okay. Could have been Monopoly money. I don't know. But I guess messed up my whole. So my question is, why was it important for you to go back and give to Jackson State?
I think that Jackson State, proud alumni. Jackson State, shape, man, it helped me. Like, I learned so many valuable things at HBCU. I think when I first stepped on that yard, I'm from New Orleans, so I hadn't got out of the city too much. We didn't have money to travel and things like that, me growing up. So I rarely got out of the city. So when I got to Jackson State, you know, a lot of things happened at once. I think the very first thing that going to any HBCU, you know, teaches you is once you're there, you realize how HBCUs were born, you know, where they come from. You know, they were the only places where our people could go because we couldn't go to PWIs and those other schools. So they were the only place of refuge. And there was a lot of sacrifices that were made. You know, people were getting killed to learn back in the day. They were getting losing their lives just to learn. Am I pausing?
You're good now. We can hear you.
I'm good now?
You're good now. Yep.
Yeah, so, I mean, so the first thing, you know, that at this HBCU that I learned was, like, purpose. Like, you know, it was a lot of sacrifices made, so you get a sense of responsibility to succeed, you know, And that was the first driving battery in me. And through that time, you know, I nurtured relationships. I was in the Sonic Boom in the South, the best marching band in this country. And I learned a lot of leadership qualities there. You know, it's like a family. I started meeting people from all different areas of this country. With all those skill sets that I took, that was my Bible, you know, coming into the music business. So, because that's the only thing I knew, because I didn't study music business. I didn't know anything. So all I could do is tap into those things. And I've realized that I was well prepared by going to Jackson State. Like, it prepared me for what I was getting into in the journey that I was going on. So, you know, my band director, Louis Liddell, that's what the $500,000 endowment went back to give, is named after him, because he allowed me, poor black kid from New Orleans, he gave me a scholarship in order to be there, you know? So that's why it was important. You know, it shaped me. It prepared me for my journey.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, it was only right that I paid it back. And also, you know, it was just it's just the right thing to do. You know, jump into right now, present day, outside of the endowment. You know, I took it up a notch. You know, I wanted to go back and teach. I think teaching, if I wasn't in the music business, I'd probably be a teacher. You know, education has always been near and dear to me. I know you too, Brandon. We're the same way with that. So, you know, during COVID, I got the rest. You know, It's been in my spirit to do it. So I just jumped out and went out there. You know, so now I'm teaching a music business class, and hopefully working towards building this music degree program next year, this music institute, and giving even more, man, because I think it's our kids still need exposure. You know, some of them still don't know that there's plenty of careers in the music business behind the scenes, and it's only right that I pour back into things that, you know, that made me.
No, whatever you need for that music institute, let me know too, because that sounds dope.
Yes, sir.
But speaking of that, you were just with Jackson State's band, helping to produce for something. What were you doing?
Yeah, you know what I was doing, dog. Oh, it says one of the producers on the show.
Plug. Got one more plug coming. What were you doing?
Yeah, we lit, man. You know, it's an HBCU performance that YouTube is putting on to raise funds for the Thurgood Marshall Fund and the UNCF.
Yep.
You know, it was, you know, my guys, Live Nation Urban is producing it. It's producing it. So they call me, knowing I'm a big band head and HBCU lover, to help with the marching band segment and to give my expertise on the HBCU world. I think it's going to be a great look for the university. I appreciate the opportunity. I know our president and the music department, our chair in the music department, she appreciates the look for the Sonic Boom. You know, we get a lot of other schools that get a lot of attention, which is no knock on any other HBCUs, but we have 100 HBCUs, and a lot are overlooked. You know, a lot of the money, the funds go to the ones that people know because they may have, you know, more. I don't know why, but you know, but it's all great. I think all HBCUs need it because, you know, funding is definitely one thing that all our schools still need to this day. And I think this is going to be a great opportunity to keep, you know, to raise money for the fund. And I think it's going to be a dope production. October 24th.
8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Homecoming 2020. Meet me on the yard. So chief plug out the way. Before we go, Tez, what would you say to any aspiring managers? Like, what's the best piece of advice you may have for them?
Get out there and do it. You know, you gotta start. You know, don't second guess it. I think managing is just, you know, it's no. I was talking about this in the class last night. You know, and Jamil Davis, he called in. You know, and we both was talking about there's really no Craigslist listing for managers or tour managers like those. Well, now y'all got the Live Nation library, black tour. See, y'all changing lives, man. We didn't have that. That didn't exist. But it doesn't exist for managers. So you just got to do. You know, you got to get out there and do it. You find somebody you believe in, talent wise, pick them on. All it is, you know, you just become the extension in their voice. And, you know, you got a lot of tools now with the internet. You got a lot of panels. You got a lot of information. It's different from when I started, right? You have information at your fingertips. So, you know, you learn a lot. You can slide in DMs to people, to mentors, just go out there and do, and that's what it is to be a manager. You got to start. You got to have a client first, and then go. Something you believe in, something you want to manage.
Right.
And that you believe in, and then just go. Use all the tools that you have to your disposal.
Absolutely, absolutely. On that note, thank you, Tez. Appreciate you making time for us today, fam.
Love, bro.
Without
Philly beard. Look at his beard, man. He getting a Philly beard, boy.
So this has been another.
Yeah.
Meet the Execs.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother, with the Philly beard. Yes.
I'm out. This is good.
All right, bro.
Next week, I'm done. I'm done.
All right, dog. Yeah.
All right.